The 2026 World Cup has officially kicked off its final countdown, expanding to a massive 48-team roster across 3 host nations. But before a single ball is even put into play, the sheer scale of the event is causing havoc. Right now, the entire South African squad is stranded at a Johannesburg airport with packed bags, their departure derailed by unresolved visa issues. This logistical struggle exists in sharp contrast to teams like Brazil and Germany. While smaller federations scramble to sort out basic paperwork and secure practice pitches, the heavyweights are already in climate-controlled luxury, fine-tuning their tactical setups. But despite these disparities in preparation, the tactical certainty that defined the last tournament has vanished. With only 11 days left until kickoff, international coaches are staring into a strategic vacuum. The standard approach to winning a World Cup is breaking down. Coaches are making massive roster gambles. Injuries are forcing overnight systemic changes, and new technology is rewriting the rules of defense. Success in this environment depends on mastering a specific new blueprint, one where adaptability is the only way forward. Some nations are leaning on extreme longevity to navigate the chaos. Mexico is placing its faith in 40-year-old goalkeeper Guillermo Ochoa, who will be making a historic 6th World Cup appearance. Defending champions Argentina are taking a different route. Instead of leaning exclusively on their proven veterans, Lionel Scaloni bypassed several experienced players to include 19-year-old Claudio Echeverri in his attack. Brazil demonstrated exactly how this youth-led approach works at the Maracanã Stadium. They dismantled Panama 6-2 without Neymar even stepping on the pitch. The catalyst was 19-year-old substitute Rayan, who came off the bench to score and create a second goal, dominating the final third. Australia is mirroring this strategy. They are blending the steady leadership of veteran keeper Matthew Ryan with 19-year-old winger Nestori Iranklimda, whose explosive pace turns him into a volatile option off the bench. Deploying untested teenagers at this level is no longer about building for future tournaments. In a congested month, throwing a fast, unstudied winger onto the pitch is a calculated tool meant to break tactical deadlocks late in the game. But even a brilliant roster can evaporate in an instant. The fragility of tournament preparation means a single training ground incident can render a nation's entire tactical identity useless. That is the reality Scotland is facing right now. Just days before kickoff, their midfield linchpin, Billy Gilmour, was ruled out of the entire tournament due to a serious knee injury. As this tactical chalkboard illustrates, the consequence is immediate. The coaching staff has to abandon their possession-based system. Now they must rely on a dense, physical counterattacking block to survive their group. Contrast that forced retreat with teams finding their form through stability. Ecuador, anchored by Moises Caicedo, has built an impenetrable defensive core that has elevated them to dark horse status among analysts. Entering this tournament with a rigid game plan is a liability. The teams that advance will be those capable of executing complete systemic overhauls on a moment's notice. Then there is the biggest disruptor of the event, FIFA's expansion of video review powers during corner kicks. Referees can now initiate a pre-kick video review, giving them the authority to penalize fouls inside the penalty box before the player even kicks the ball. This targets the traditional dark arts of defending set pieces. Every subtle jersey pull, shove, or off-ball block that usually happens during a corner is now subject to frame-by-frame scrutiny. Look at this breakdown of the penalty box. Defenders have to abandon physical grappling. Instead, they must rely on hands-free, zone-based spatial marking to avoid triggering a penalty kick minutes after a play has ended. This technological policing changes the math of set pieces. A single careless shove on a corner kick can now determine the outcome of a massive knockout match. The combination of teenage wildcards, forced tactical audibles, and strictly policed penalty boxes creates a leveling effect across all 48 squads. The safety net of an expensive, star-studded roster feels thinner when a single pre-kick video review can swing a match. Traditional hierarchies are under pressure from variables that even the best players cannot control. The winner this July will be the team that remains the most strategically agile when their original plan is ripped apart. We are about to witness the most technologically scrutinized and tactically volatile month in the history of international soccer. The 2026 World Cup serves as a ruthless test of intellectual adaptation against unprecedented chaos.